Hello, hello, my beloved waking gods and goddesses. Welcome to Love, Truth, and Beauty. Do it yourself or divine in the flesh, where your PTSDs, your pains, traumas, suffering, and dramas are golden gateways to waking up and staying awake, where we get to all learn how to navigate with grace and ease and good potty mouth humor the ups and downs of the totality of human experience in this perception-managed reality, where our seven senses of our true sensual sensorial world have actually been hijacked and dumbed down into the limitations of five-sense reality, a reality that most think is normal. It is not. Five-sense reality is mind control and limited and not fit for our true divine natures. Before we get started, I would love for you to give this video a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I can't even talk. And do select the all setting so that when we upload our next videos, you're going to be notified by the YouTube. I generally upload Tuesdays and Fridays, 2 p.m. Eastern time, now daylight savings time, oy vey. Let's see, my name is Maria West, and I am your hostess of the highest, here to download, upload, inspire, and usher you into your bestest and brightest light, your bestest and brightest selves, and inviting you all to open your hearts wider and wider still. Wow, we have so much to contend with these days to stay positive and not get pulled into the murky undertow of consensus reality. And many of us are continuing to do the great inner work. And part of doing the great inner work, my loves, is purging toxic relationships. Am I right? And that means out of our lives, particularly the relationships that are quite harmful. And though I advocate the openness of our hearts, I am really asking you all to take stock in your relationships. I am inspired today to speak directly to the importance of no contact ever again for those of you who are recovering from NSP abuse. So anytime I mention NSP from here on out, let that be code for Narcissistic-Sociopathic-Psychopathic abuse. I'm going to lump them all together because they have so many markers that are very similar. I'm not a psychologist, so I'm not going to go there. I'm going to talk to you about practical ways to really honor yourself, create good boundaries. And because I've learned so much over the last 5-6 years about the growing pandemic mind virus of NSPs, as I also navigate the journey, my own journey of moving into full recovery from my own experiences at the hands of some very, very gifted NSPs. Okay, so for today, I want to focus on a very important practice to seriously consider. Seriously, can I just keep saying it? Seriously consider that practice. No contact ever again with this predator, particularly if you are in recovery, having made already the break, or even just starting to unpack the layers upon layers and layers of confusion, emotional devastation from the gaslighting you've suffered from an NSP, and contemplating how to possibly untangle yourself and your life from the undoubted fearful enmeshment, not to mention your endeavors to get yourself to a safe place, safe space, so that you can truly begin to know how you are actually feeling. From my own direct experience, I hear from folks all over the world that they feel betrayed and gutted from stem to stern. Like you've been sliced open, your insides spilling out and set on fire, all the while being yelled at and blamed and shamed by the predator for being the reason that this shit is happening to you because you made them do it. I cannot stress this enough. The importance of getting away from the NSP or kicking them out, setting up no contact ever again, or ghosting. Okay? No contact ever again includes blocking the NSP from all social media accounts, email access, phone access. It may require you to stop frequenting regular hangouts that you all used to go to together, those public places like cafes, bars, restaurants, stores, etc. It may require you to relocate to an undisclosed location. It might also require you to change jobs, professions. It may require you to break contact, relationships with common friends and acquaintances, along with blocking friends, family, and acquaintances who are critical, judgmental, and not sympathetic, or have betrayed you and thrown you under the bus and are actual tools for the NSP and have become one of their apaths. While the strategy of no contact ever again may be heartbreaking and extreme, my loves, when appropriate and implemented with great intention to heal and take your power back, it is the biggest and surest way you can eradicate and remove the toxicity, the NSPs, and their predatory ways and energies. You can get them out of your life and your energy field and your personal space once and for all, ensuring the acceleration of your recovery. I cannot stress to you enough, my beloveds, the PTSD suffered through NSP abuse. It is vast and it can be total in its devastation to immobilize, traumatize you in many, many ways. And many of us often suffer these abuses for extended periods of time, sometimes years and years, and into many, many decades. So the recovery is quite tricky and quite slow in that your life is completely turned upside down and sideways. It creates a lot of self-doubt, a sense of unreality, like you don't know what's real, where you doubt your ability to know what's true, what's real, where you lose trust in yourself and in your ability to discern. And you lose trust in humanity in general. At least that's how it has been for me and for the literal thousands of people that I have actually spoken to over the last 5 years. Do take care to seek professional help, whether through different forms of energy work, trauma deactivation, and different kinds of therapy. Make sure that you are well supported by loving friends and family. NSPs, they are extremely clever, mind energy control vampire criminals of a very specific kind, and they are not to be taken lightly. They're not human. They don't have a heart. They have no empathy. They don't feel. They do not care about you. Even when they tell you they love you, they don't care about you. All right? They will absolutely, absolutely ruin your life. So ghosting them and everything in your life that's associated with them, you may have to do that. And it may be the only strategy to move forward in all aspects of your life. Because once it's clear that you don't have anything more to give them, no supply for them, no supply that they can take from you, they will move on to another target, but often will keep you strung along to get little hits and little digs into you. So cutting ties to an NSP is uber importante, okay? You got to remember that NSPs, they target empaths. That is kind-hearted, open-hearted people like yourself, like myself. They have studied you. You've told them your stories, so they know your stories, they know your hurts, they know your weaknesses, and they will use those hurts and weaknesses and your pain as a means to their own ends. I'm not kidding. You got to remember that empaths are the prime target for NSPs. And they not only require empaths, but they require apaths, also known as yes people, sycophants. And often these people, they don't even know you, but are often enchanted and mesmerized and hypnotized by the NSP and will go along with all of the NSP ruses and or perhaps are also being used by an NSP. So as some sort of supply advantage, and they need these apaths to get away with what they do, where you are the source. of supply for the NSP, whether that is a free place to live, food, clothing, shelter, sex, financial supply, ego boost, transportation, whatever. It doesn't matter. The empaths are often temporary go-to backups for when shit eventually hits the fan and the empath gets wise and activates the lost word of no and no more. Okay? It's also important to note that, unfortunately, if the NSP is your business partner or a family member and you're not quite ready to ghost your entire family of origin, which may be necessary down the line to consider, if you're parenting or if it's your parent or a sibling or offspring, or perhaps the co-parenting issue, that's a huge one where you have children or a child and no contact ever again is not feasible, in which case I highly recommend you restrict your contact to short, time-limited, scheduled only visits and handoffs in co-parenting in designated public places and practice no eye contact ever again. No eye contact ever again. I say this because of the energy drain that occurs through NSP abuse, through the predator's intimidation of the empath through eye contact. This is also known as the stink eye. You've heard of that, or the stare down. There is a psychic, energetic draw and drain, an almost hypnotic effect that can occur. And I've heard so many folks describe this occurrence as feeling as though they're losing their will. Their life force is systematically being drained out of them, that their knees get wobbly, their legs get shaky, and they experience extreme nausea and panic and feel like they're going to faint or pass out. It is a way of manipulation and disempowerment by the NSP. So cutting this predator off and not connecting via eye contact, that is that unnerving connection and depletion, can be prevented. However, I am also aware of the fact that some empaths in their recovery from NSP abuse, where eye contact with their predator was avoided and extremely frightening and intimidating, that these people were able to take back their power through mustering up the courage and wherewithal to hold focused and strong eye contact, especially during court proceedings, especially during negotiations, okay? The practice of no eye contact ever again is another strategy of creating strong boundaries in order to recover and not allow yourself to continue to be a source of supply for the NSP. Practicing good boundaries is about conserving your energy. It's about conserving your heart and your resources, not necessarily about keeping people out. Remember, you have been violated emotionally, energetically, mentally, psychologically, psychically, sexually, monetarily, spiritually, technologically, raped, etc. Okay? You cannot reason with an NSP and their henchmen and henchwomen. You will not win. Moreover, in this very difficult journey of recovery, I encourage you to seek out activities, daily practices that nourish you and calm you. Surround yourself with beauty and engage in things and only in friends that delight you, bring you joy, and will also protect you and have your back and your heart. We will be continuing this conversation, my loves, of recovering from NSP abuse in teeny tiny bits and pieces. I really felt just so pulled and pushed to do this video. I'm really uncomfortable right now, so please do comment and email me if you have any questions. My contact information is in the description box below. Thank you so much for your time and appreciation. And I really appreciate your participation. Until next time, be the love that you are. Share your love. Enjoy your breath. Enjoy your body. Enjoy your life. Here's to love, truth, and beauty. Mwah!